name is Dr. Joshua Straub, and I want to welcome you to this Fireside Course on premarital counseling. You know, I want to start by just saying congratulations. If you're watching this course, there's a very good chance you have found somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or that you're considering spending the rest of your life with. And so I want to start by just saying congratulations. I want to consider it an honor to walk with you through this journey. I remember my journey early on when I first met my wife. We were 4 months into dating relationship, and I was invited to be in a friend's wedding. And while we were at that wedding, I was playing a game of 500. And it's where you take a football and you throw it to one side, and a group of other guys were down there, and whoever caught the ball got as many points as the quarterback yelled out. Well, it got to a point where the quarterback yelled 50 points, and I reached up to grab that football, and it bounced off the end of my pinky finger. And that pinky finger hurt like crazy. And I'm holding on to it. I'm trying to yank it out because I wanted to make sure that these guys weren't going to make fun of me, right? And so I catch the next ball, which means I get to go be the quarterback because I reached 500. But my pinky finger, it was hurting so badly that I had to go inside the house. And at this point, my girlfriend, Christy, who's now my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, she had come along with me to this wedding because I thought, what better way to decide if I'm going to marry her than to introduce her to some of my own friends? And so she's sitting in with the bridesmaids and they're having a little chat, and I walked in because my pinky finger is hurting like crazy. And so I walk in, and sure enough, she's sitting right by the refrigerator, which is where, you know, the freezer is. I had to go up and get some ice. And my wife, Christy, she's from Canada. And I don't know if you know much about Canadians, but they tend to go to ice rinks to watch fights. And every now and again, a hockey game will break out. And it was fascinating because she looks at me, and I think this is the moment I knew she was the one. She looks at me and she says, "Did you really hurt it, or are you just being a baby?" And, lo and behold, we leave that wedding. I handled the pain for the next couple days, and I got back home, went to the doctor, and found out that my pinky finger was broken on the knuckle. And had I not had surgery, I'd have been drinking tea like this for the rest of my life. And so I had to have surgery. I had these big pins sticking out of it, and it became an ordeal. Fast forward to our wedding day. My wife, Christy, she had one suggestion. One thing. This is the only thing she wanted from me. She said, just don't break anything. Don't break anything. So we're the day before our wedding. I'm sitting outside with my best man. He's the one officiating the wedding. We're going through the wedding vows, the ceremony, and that type of thing. And it's 4:20 in the afternoon. All the other guys, they're out playing on the sand. We're at this place called Port Stanley along Lake Erie. Beautiful, beautiful area for the guys to be hanging out and having fun. And I remember looking at my best man, Sean, and I said to him, I said, "Sean, why don't we go out and play some football? We have 10 minutes. What could happen in 10 minutes? So I go out with my buddies on the sand, and the guy whose wedding I was in, where I broke my pinky finger the first time, he goes out for a pass. Well, as he does, we're both in bare feet. His foot comes backward, my foot goes forward, and I hit his heel, and I drop to the ground, and I look down, and my pinky toe was killing me. Yes, I broke my 5th metatarsal in one play on that beach that day within just a few minutes. But I could not tell Christy. I could not tell her that this happened. And so the entire time, the entire wedding day, I got all my groomsmen, I've got everybody out there, and I'm saying, listen, do not tell Christy. She cannot find out. Next day, we get married. I put that baby in as tight of I sucked up the pain. I put it in a dress shoe, handled the pain all day long. The next day after the wedding, I woke up the next morning, standing there with her, and I said, "Christy, I have a confession to make." And I took off my shoe, and I pointed down to my toe, and I said, "I broke my toe on our wedding day. I broke our toe. It was the one thing you asked me not to do, but I did it." And she looked at me, and in all honesty, no exaggeration whatsoever, she looked at me and she said, "Josh, you started our marriage on a foundation of lies. It's true though how we don't covertly lie to the person that we love. It's not like we're trying to lie to them. And by the way, if the person that you're with, you're worried about whether or not they're lying to you, one of the sections we're going to cover during our course is character. But many of us, we go in with great intentions. But it's like these overt lies that we carry into our relationship. It's a lack of awareness. We're blind a lot of times, maybe to our own family of origin, our history, and we're also blind to maybe some of the things that might be coming up into the future, expectations that we have, attitudes that we carry about marriage. And so we have foresight and hindsight. We have expectations and attitudes. That's what we're going to cover in this Fireside course. We're going to look at 7 C's. We're going to look at some considerations that we want you to walk through. We're going to talk about character, as I said. We're going to look also at conversations that are important to have. Also chemistry. What's your personality? What's that compatibility look like? We'll talk about chemistry. We'll also talk how to cultivate healthy relationships. We'll look at conflict, and we'll also look at commitment. It's an honor to join you on this Fireside course on premarital counseling.